Guys, sorry, I'm just gonna sort everything out in game, but it's 3-0 for iNTACT right now. All right. There we go. I'm gonna stop that music for you in a moment. Let's fix the overlay. We're going on the fly here. It is fun. There we go. We're back and we're in the match. 3-0 in favor of iNTACT. And I'm just trying to get everything sorted here, guys. But Turismo does find the opening frag in the round. Team Clarity on their first buy round of Overpass. And they're already down a man. As mentioned, iNTACT 2-0 on the season Overpass. And they were dominant on Overpass in the playoffs in Maine last season. 3-0 on it, if I'm not mistaken. Swan going to get that frag on Fogo now. Just trying to get my chat back, guys. There we go. So, Bossy going to get Turismo. So, good response here by Bossy. And he also gets Swan as well. 3v3. Spongy looking for a response and gets it. Bossy goes down. Good trade by Spongy. Ends that threat. Bomb still down here. And iNTACT's going to have to go and retrieve it in bathrooms. Rascal rotating back to the A site. But he's one and done. The trade not in play here as Zach is back at the B site. So just playing one on each site in this 3v2 here. The last map, Swan, the ADR leader, had an ADR of 115. Only one member of Clarity in map number 1 had more than 10 frags. That was Denya at 11 and 17. Rascal defending the A site, does spot out Willmeister. Willmeister, rare occasion there for him to get caught off guard. 2v2. Clarity not out of this round yet. They still have Rascal on the A side. He goes down, but Zach on the flank could find one. Doesn't just yet. Spongy down to 30 HP, and the bomb gets planted right next to Truck. Post-plant situation, 2v1 for iNTACT. Only 108 HP combined for iNTACT, 84 on Zach. Shake, good angle held. Great positioning there for iNTACT. No mistake made by Shake on Zach, and iNTACT hold on for a 4th round victory. 4-0. Now in their favor. What happened to Nox and Optimus, says Nathan? They were, unfortunately for them, cut after, I think it was 10 matches on the season. Spongy and Willmeister came in for the final 6. Actually, it was 9 matches because there was a forfeit win somewhere in there. But anyway, Spongy and Willmeister played the last 6 for iNTACT, and they've been good. 1.52 KDR for Spongy and 1.68 KDR for Willmeister. Combined, I believe they have 231 frags on iNTACT this season. Not too shabby. Zach pushing up here aggressively at long A. Gets one, then Rascal finds a second on Willmeister. Great job by Clarity to get some map control over at the A site, but iNTACT, knowing the stack was in play, over at A are going right into that B site. Spongy and Swan still taking their time. Don't want to get caught off guard by a CZ close range. And now Swan gearing up for Fogo, who's going to charge up on him. Fogo has the advantage here with the CZ, but Swan is just so good with that op close range. He still finds a way to do it. Bomb gets planted as well, and Swan evening it out at a 3v3. Swan staring over at the B site here towards Sniper Nest. Spongy gets Zach, and then he gets Bossy as well. 2K for Spongy from Pit. And now it's off to Rascal in a 1v2. And Clarity's making it close in these last 2 rounds, but they're just unable to seal things off. And again, Shake standing in that 2v1 gets the final frag for the 2nd consecutive round. 5-0 in favor of iNTACT. Who won map 1? It was iNTACT Tucker W by a score of 16-4. 3 members of iNTACT had 20 plus frags. Swan with 25, Willmeister with 21, and Turismo with 20. Turismo behind in terms of ADR on a rare occasion at 109 versus 115 for Swan, who stole his ADR thunder. 5-0 for iNTACT. Full loss bonus coming in for Clarity. They do use their advantage to get the first frag. Denya spotting out Willmeister, but Turismo with an important trade and gets a second one for his efforts, making it a man advantage 4v3 in iNTACT's favor. Fogo, Bossy, and Rascal still standing for Clarity. They need to find a round here in some way. Doesn't have to be pretty. Just get those frags, even if it's a win by letting the time run out. Fogo gets the frag on Swan. Now Bossy with a great flashbang throw, and he gets two. Turismo and Spongy fall, leaving only Shake standing. Doesn't have bomb control, but Bossy's not really watching it. Shake trying to catch Bossy off guard, and he will. Bossy pulls out some utility at the wrong time. Shake does take 5 damage from it, but now he has a chance to get into this bomb site and maybe get this round. No, Rascal sprays him down. Headshot on Shake, and Clarity do indeed find a way to make it work, and it actually was pretty nice. Bossy with a nice little pop flash there towards Monster. Peeked around, used it to his advantage, got 2, and that was the round right there. Intact lose their first. Let's see if Clarity can get on a bit of a run here. Match pause coming in now. So in the regular season on Clarity, Zach was the frag leader at 312 frags and also had the most frags per match with 19.5. and an ADR of 83.3, which led the team as well. He was pretty much leading the team in everything except for KDR, which went to Rascal, at least in terms of Rascal's play on Clarity, which is the stats that I counted this time around. So here we go. Match pause has ended. Round number 7 coming up. Over on Intact, the leader in terms of frags per match is Turismo. Or sorry, excuse me, Willmeister at 21. That's 21 frags per match over the 6 matches that he has played. Willmeister hanging out in the upper tunnels here. 7th round of play, Swan from Monster with Shake and Turismo. Five members on Intact. Stacked up here in Monster. They walk out. Denya finds the opening frag. Now it's up to Zach to try and get more, but he doesn't. That gives Intact the chance to filter on into the bomb site with 4 members. Shake gets Rascal, and this is not looking good for Clarity. Swan makes it look worse. Bossy goes down. Fogo, the last one standing here. 1v4 with the op in hand. Not much money in the bank account either. He's going to want to save this one into the next round to give them a better chance of victory there. Instead of throwing it away here, he's playing a very close angle, and Intact almost certainly are going to try and hunt him down as they know the situation. Shake around the corner, and Fogo does not have the reaction time that he needs to get Shake. Shake finds that frag. 6-1 for Intact. Economy reset for Clarity. 7 rounds have expired. Clausia again in the chat. Only 21 frags? Oh no. It has to be 40, right? Is it 40 or 45, Clausia, to be impressive? I can't remember. Let's go Clarity. Bum, 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 says Doberman. He's cheering them on. Be cool if I get some sound effects in the background. Or that if you guys could cheer in the chat and I could have a sound be triggered. I might look into that. That could be really fun. Anyway, Shake spraying through the smoke into Z connector. Bossy and Fogo are there. Rascal with the M4A4 in hand. 3 5.7s and a CZ round out the buy here for Clarity. 3 AKs, an op, and a MAC-10 over on Intact, and Shake's going to find that first frag over at Fountain. Willmeister and Turismo and Swan take A site control pretty handily, as Clarity was, of course, stacked towards B. And then smoke going to come in for Dumpster. Sound effects would be cool, says Taco Mike, as Turismo going to farm a couple of SMG frags, perhaps? No, an SMG frag and a pistol frag, and sticks with the Glock around the corner at an M4A4 bearing Rascal. Shake over at Party, gets Bossy, leaving only Rascal standing. And Rascal will get fragged by Turismo, who got $1,200 with the SMG frags and $300 with the pistol. That's $1,500 in terms of frags there for Turismo. So farming a good amount of money. Shake and Turismo in the frag lead as well with 24 frags combined. It's 13 for Shake and 11 for Turismo. 7-1 in favor of Intact. Will really likes playing with his knife, says Surge. If he has a butterfly knife, I can totally understand. But he doesn't. Oh, M9 bayonet, but a sapphire. Or not a sapphire. It's full green. I don't know what you call full green. Why is this slipping my mind? Oh, goodness. Someone in the chat, please help me. Anyway, Intact up against 5 USPSs on Clarity's end. They're on a full save. No real choice either, as all of them at the 2K mark. Spongy gets Bossy. Fogo goes down to Shake. An iNTACT now in a 5v3 Emerald. Thank you, Claudia. I appreciate that. Anyway, Turismo gets 2 more. And that leaves only Rascal, who is going to go down to Swan. Rascal falls, and of course, iNTACT picks up another round victory. 8-1. They've already secured the first half in terms of rounds 1. iNTACT rolling along. They do not look very troubled, and they haven't looked troubled throughout the entire series. On Mirage, after the first 3 rounds, where they actually lost those first 3 rounds after Clarity picked up the pistol, they just started to click and did not stop, picking up 16 of the last 17. And here they are, 8-1. Clarity only getting 1 response here in the first 4 rounds, and iNTACT's just rolled along again since then. Spongy finds the opening frag over on Zach. Fogo does respond on Turismo. Here we go. Perhaps Clarity going to get something rolling here. 3 M4A4s and M4A1S round out there by Swan, doing some damage. Gets Fogo, but Bossy looking to respond. Spray Swan down to 7 HP and also gets Willmeister. Bossy, again, looking to power his team to victory here in this round, as he did in that 1 round you see on the board for Clarity so far. Bossy turning away from the flashbang. Full vision still in play, and Bossy does make it count. 2K for him. Shake and Spongy are the last 2 standing, but they are no slouches. Shake getting that frag on Rascal, and now throws the smoke at Dumpster. Bossy jumping around. Oh, Shake spotted him out, knows exactly where he is. Going to throw the molly and likely the flashbang after that. Nope, just throws the molly, peeks around the corner. Bossy gets through it and finds the frag on Spongy. Shake not able to defend Spongy while he planted that bomb. And the bomb gets dropped. So now Shake's going to have to retrieve that and get the plant as well. Bossy with a 3K. He finally goes down. Denya, perhaps with the advantage here. Shake is now checking bank, looks away from it. And Denya could come in on the flank against Shake. Shake again checking bank. Denya being very patient here. 20 seconds left, and Denya, the patience paying off here with the M4A1S. Clarity pick up a 2nd round victory. Will it be one and done again for the 3rd time in this series, or can Clarity get it going and get 2 rounds in a row against a very tough iNTACT squad? 4 AKs and an op for iNTACT. They have tons of money, and they're using it. Over on Clarity, not much, and it shows a Swag 7, an MP9, an M4A4, M4A1S, and an AK-47. Everyone rocking a different gun here. Then you're going to throw that quick smoke towards Monster, and then set up in pit. Excuse me, in Canal. Turismo walking up at Fountain. Is Zach taking some damage? Is that through the wall? I think that was through the wall from an op. Yeah, Swan firing away here. Zach gets fully flashed. So does Swan. That was a team flash on Zach. Bossy does find the first frag on Willmeister. Swan trades it back, looking for the 2nd, and look at those quick flicks from Swan. Gets Zach and Rascal 4v3. Swan just so dangerous. So hard to get an edge on him. Fogo gets the trade back on Turismo. Evens it out of 3v3. iNTACT stacked up together here. I think Bossy could really be a difference maker in this round once more. Denya burns alive inside that molly. Bossy finds the frag on Swan, looking for a 2nd now. Spongy down to 5 HP. Fogo sneaking up from pit. Fogo gets shaked. That leaves only Spongy standing with 5 HP. Spongy gets the frag on Fogo, though. What a shot. And Bossy down to 17. 1v1. 17 HP up against 5 HP. Spongy does have bomb control, and Bossy thinks that Spongy's going to go back to the A site. And what a read that is from Bossy, as Spongy is indeed rotating back towards A. Will he fake it, though? Spongy fakes the move back to the A site, makes a lot of noise, but I'm not sure that Bossy heard the noise of Spongy going towards A. Is he actually going to go to A now? Wow, a double fake coming in. Spongy ends up going to A, and we will see a final showdown between these two. Spongy goes down. Bossy holds the angle at Dumpster, and Bossy again powering his team to victory. A 3K for him, 2 3Ks in a row, 6 over the last 2 rounds, and Clarity do indeed find 2 in a row against an iNTACT squad who really own Overpass. 8-3 in iNTACT's favor. Still have the 5-round lead, but Clarity are chipping away slowly but surely. 4 rounds remain to be played here in this first half of action. Bossy, faces off against the nade and goes down to 71 HP. Good flank coming in from Bossy. Sprays down 1. Oh, could have had more. But Shake, quick wits about him, gets the frag on Bossy. 4v4. Oh, Fogo misses that shot. He could have hit that and tilted the round in favor of Clarity. And we still have a 4v4. Zach, in the meantime, has managed to push up in lower tunnels, gets Spongy, then throws a nade up. Could damage Shake a little bit, but does not. Shake evades the nade, and Zach backs off. 4v3, no reason to force the issue here for Clarity. They have the advantage, and they have iNTACT spread out across the map. No one really grouped up together. Swan is trying to rejoin Willmeister, who's pushed up long A. Zach pushes out through a squeaky door. And now sprays down Shake. Good job by Clarity, spotting out Shake, the Lone Ranger at the B site. Now iNTACT have 2 players going into A. No one here on A for Clarity, and the only one who's now joined the A site with Swan and Willmeister has a UMP-45. That's Denya. Swan does not look around the other way, and Denya gets him on the flank, leaving only Willmeister standing in a 1v4. Clarity all of a sudden looking like a different team here. Catching iNTACT off guard with some aggressive pushes, and it's paying off. Willmeister through the smoke, sprays down Rascal, knows exactly where he planted that bomb. Denya closes the angle though, and frags him. Denya with 2, Zach with 2, and Clarity are going to pick up a 4th round here. 8-4 in favor of iNTACT, 12 rounds played. Clarity on a 3-round run for the first time since map number 1, when it was 3-0 in their favor. Bossy leading the charge, and really the reason why Clarity is here, winning rounds with 13 frags on the map. An improvement over his 7 on map number 1. Bossy and Zach only had 7 frags apiece, and Fogo and Rascal had 6 frags apiece on Mirage. Bossy trying to get this second map in favor of Clarity, and Fogo's going to help out now. Turismo goes down. iNTACT's money is starting to look a little paltry. Good peek by Fogo, and he spots out Spongy. 4v3, Fogo jumping around, dancing away from the view of iNTACT. Misses the shot on Swan, pulls out the pistol, doesn't get it. Rascal, though, there to rescue him, gets a double on Willmeister and Swan, leaving only Shake standing. Shake, and a 4v1 through this smoke. I think they might know he's here. Oh man, they're firing away like crazy. Shake, waiting for the smoke to fade so we can get an angle. Gets Rascal. 1. Still has 3 more to deal with, but does not get another one. Bossy drops him to the ground, and Shake falls, with Clarity picking up a 4th consecutive round victory. Not many teams have been able to do that against iNTACT on Overpass. Well, Clarity's doing it right here. 8-5 now. All of a sudden, we got a match on our hands, guys. 2 rounds remaining here in this first half of action. And Denya's going to throw that smoke towards Fountain. Denya charging up, going to peek over the smoke. Very common play here with an op. Fogo's going to get the first frag on Swan. Shake peeking around the smoke, looking for a response. Doesn't get it just yet. 5v4, favor of Clarity. Pretty decent buy-up for iNTACT, but Rascal pushing into construction, gets 2, then Zach finds 1 on Spongy. Wow. Clarity playing very unorthodox positions over their round victories, and it's working out for them. Fogo gets Turismo, and I don't think iNTACT likes that Clarity's getting in their faces there over these past 5 rounds. We'll see if they can adjust and adapt as they have when faced with adversity in the past. 8-6 in favor of iNTACT. We're coming down to the wire here in this first half of action, much closer to the Mirage, which is always good to see. 15th round of play. iNTACT going to get a 9th round victory and end the 5-round run of Clarity, but Clarity wants to get 6 and go into the second half looking a lot stronger than they started out. Willmeister gets the opening frag on Bossy. Denya trades it back, but he's fully flashed. Great flashbangs thrown by iNTACT, and they have indeed adjusted to the aggression by Clarity. A lot of flashbangs thrown early on there to entry through to Fountain. 3 members left standing for Clarity, and now Zach gets burned alive by Shake. Looking good for iNTACT once more, but Fogo responds and gets Turismo. Great shot by Swan, threading the needle between truck and dumpster, getting that one, and then turns around towards short A, finds Rascal, and Spongy turns things around for iNTACT, finally picking up a first round over the last 7. 9-6 in favor of iNTACT. 3-round lead, but Clarity, gotta give him credit. A lot of heart to come back in this one and make it close. We'll see what happens in the second half of action. Guys, I do hope you're enjoying the cast so far. If you are, would really appreciate a follow at JRTTV with 2 E's at the end on Twitter, and just JRTTV without the 2 E's at the end on Twitch. On my Twitter, I will be posting highlights of the match after everything has ended. And I always post my schedule there, guys. I will be casting pretty much exclusively iNTACT, though, over these playoffs because everything's happening on the same day, so I can't really cast other matches. But it's okay. If by chance something does get rescheduled to another day, hopefully I'll be able to cover it. But in any case, here we go. Round number 1 of the second half, guys. Hey, Taz, welcome. GRT Twitter highlights, indeed. I try to do my best to give you guys a good recap of the action with those highlights. But here we go. Second half of action. Bossy, the only one with utility bought up. The meta usually favors, or at least is starting to favor more Ts buying up utility as opposed to armor. Sometimes you'll see 3 members with smoke grenades, but a good flash thrown there by Bossy, making the most of that utility that they bought up, and Rascal gets the frag. Good follow-up. 4 members left for iNTACT, and Clarity could get a second. Look at that. Bossy waiting for Turismo to run around there. Turismo thunder stomping, not thinking anyone is going to be there, but Bossy surprises him. 2 USPS is picked up now by Clarity. Swan inside lower tunnels gets 2. Bossy and Denya go down, doing the damage. Does get traded out, but he makes it a 2v3 instead of a 2v5. Spongy and Willmeister, winnable round now. Willmeister coming from Canal. Fogo doesn't see him in time and can't get the bomb planted either. Spongy spots out Zach, but Zach gets the upper hand and finds him from pit. Rascal and Zach up against Willmeister, and he cannot prevail. iNTACT will fall in the first round of the second half, and Clarity are getting closer and closer to tying this one up. 9-7 now in their favor. Is there a stream of me casting pro Roblox? I want to watch. What? Okay, I might sound ignorant here or something, but what is Roblox? Is this a meme? I don't know. 3 Mac-10s and 2 AKs bought up for Clarity. A UMP 45, 2 MP9s, and a Scout for iNTACT. They're just forcing up and trying to make this work. Shake does get the first frag, but traded out immediately by Denya. Spongy with a USPS snipes Zach from pit. Turismo pops around the corner, trading back and forth. Crazy action, but Willmeister gets the upper hand at the end, finding the last 2. 10-7 in favor of iNTACT. Great little force by there, stacking the B site, and it worked out for them. Clarity go down, and their economy is not good. After winning that first pistol round, you expected a little bit more, but they couldn't get it done in round number 2 of the second half, and iNTACT get into double-digit round victories. Willmeister walking out aggressively here on the defense, in towards Z connector, throwing the molly into lower B and an HE grenade to follow that up. Willmeister and Swan stacked up now at short A, but they're just going to go back, just trying to recon, get some information for their squad. Turismo's jumping around. Did he spot out Clarity going into Squeaky Door? I don't know. But anyway, Willmeister waiting, sprays through the smoke, finds Fogo. He could get closed in on by Zach on the flank. Zach comes out and does indeed find the frag with the Tech 9. The Tech 9 doing the damage. 2 for Zach, and he's still standing. Turismo responds for 1. Zach is very lit, finally goes down, but Denya has the AK and gets 1. 2v2. Advantage against Shake, and Spongy has to be careful with the way he peeks out here. Denya locked in on his head, but a great nade thrown there by Shake to help him get that frag on Denya. Denya just could not stay up and get a clearer view of Spongy peeking around. Bossy, now the last one standing, has the deagle and a chance. 50 seconds remaining in the round. Bossy, who's been the hero for Clarity several times so far here on Overpass, with a couple of 3Ks, and then flicks around to Shake. Oh, just misses by a hair. Hits his shoulder instead of the head. Runs back, picks up the AK, and now is looking to spray down both Spongy and Shake, but not to be this time. iNTACT pick up a second consecutive round victory, 11-7 in favor of iNTACT. A little bit of a rush coming in from Clarity. Did not pan out there over at short A. And iNTACT, again, coming out victorious. Clarity going to be on the pistol buy up here, a Deagle and a Tech 9. Everyone else running with the Glocks. Shake going to throw a quick molly in towards Canal. And Clarity again trying to push out aggressively here. Up against Spongy, it seems, in construction. Zach goes down. Turismo gets Denya, and then he finds 3. A 3K for Turismo, looking for the 4th, and indeed gets it. 4K. Quad for Turismo. 12-7 in favor of iNTACT. 19 rounds expired. And after losing, what was it? 6 rounds of the last 9, I believe, iNTACT is just rolling along now in this second half of play. They've got 3 versus only 1 for Clarity. Clarity is going to have 5 AKs bought up. Still 2 MP9s over on iNTACT and perhaps trying to farm that money. They could have upgraded but chose not to. Good flashbang thrown. Was that by Clarity? Yeah, that flashbang thrown by Clarity, but they couldn't get a frag as a result. Rascal does trade one out with iNTACT, so now we have a 4v4 on Clarity trying to take advantage of the space they opened up here over at Bathrooms. Spongy moving his way back to the A site, the op in hand, trying to make it work once more. Bomb gonna get planted here, so post-plant, 4v4. The only one with damage left alive is Shake at 79 HP. Spongy up close against Fogo, makes no mistake. Willmeister spots out Denya, and now Bossy and Rascal, the last 2 standing to defend this bomb. Good flashbang thrown by Willmeister, forces Rascal to turn into the wall, then peeks out and sprays him down with the AK, leaving only Bossy at bank, who gets naded, fired on, everything coming his way. He just cannot survive. Willmeister will get the last one. 3K for the old Willmeister. 13 and 7. In favor of iNTACT. Actually, I say the old Willmeister. Willmeister, the youngest player in the server here at 16 years old, and I believe the only Canuck, besides myself. 2 Canadians here. I'll let you guys decide if that's good or bad. Hopefully good. Anyway, 13 to 7, as mentioned, for iNTACT. I need 3 more rounds, and this series is done and dusted. Double op setup coming in from iNTACT. Swan and Spongy rocking those ops. Shake and Willmeister with AKs, and Turismo with the M4A4. Over on Clarity, they just got 5 AKs rocking and rolling. It's really all they could have bought up. They only have 1 flashbang, no smokes. I mean, I say that it's all they could have bought up. It's the best weapon they could have bought. Perhaps they should have had a couple of Galils to get more smokes into this site. Oh, what a read by Spongy. Waiting for that boost to come in. Clarity walks into it, and Denya drops down to the ground. 1:16 remaining on the clock. Quick little advantage for iNTACT there. 5v4 Swan boosted up on the flowers here at long A, and Willmeister playing right behind the rock. No one is near A for the time being on Clarity. You see Bossy sort of leaning towards it. Could get spotted up by Willmeister and is looking in the wrong direction, so Willmeister has the advantage in every way here. Gets the spray down but misses his final shot. Bossy survives with 19 HP, and that could come back to haunt Willmeister, but it doesn't. Willmeister does indeed capitalize on that last opportunity. Finding Bossy, Swan gets Fogo, and we have a 5v2. Rascal and Zach grouped up together, making tons of noise. Swan hears them, and he's going to hold the angle. Gets 1, looking for the second, but can't. Swan with 2 on the round. Zach, the last one standing. He's going to plant this bomb on the truck. Going to close it on by iNTACT. They still have a bit of utility to work with here. And Zach going to have to move away from truck due to that molly. That gives Willmeister a chance to get onto default. Now they're just going to peek 3 at a time. iNTACT know how to get stuff done here and making sure that they don't give Clarity 4 1v1s. 14 to 7 in favor of iNTACT. Denya's Canadian. Thank you, Taz. I did not check that. Or I did not catch that. So we have 3 Canadians. Correction. Thank you, Taz. 14 to 7 though for iNTACT. Canadian or not, iNTACT is dominating. Clarity looks strong. Look like they were mounting a comeback here in this match, but iNTACT just overpowering them, out-muscling them in terms of fragging power. Zach jumping through squeaky door. Spongy finds one on Bossy, and Willmeister has a great position played here. Zach, I'm not sure if he saw him under the smoke, but Willmeister could do so much damage here if Clarity comes up these stairs. Clarity waiting there. Willmeister looking for the peek. Gets it. Flicks around to Fogo. Doesn't get Zach, though. Traded out. So a 4v3. Turismo peeking out from sandbags, and Denya finds him. Denya makes it a 3v3. 2 ops and an AK standing versus 3 AKs for Clarity. Clarity play their cards right. They could come out with the victory here, using the close range to their advantage against those ops, but Spongy is just so good at every range. Needs to be flashed or something to frag him. There it is. Flashbang comes in, and Rascal gets the trade out. Fortunately, Shake's waiting on the side. He gets a 2K, 15 to 7 in favor of iNTACT. They now have 8 match points. Clarity is going to have to force OT to get back into this match and into the series. Doberman is Canadian from Toronto. Hello, Doberman. Welcome. I say welcome, but my Canadian brother. I'm from Montreal, so I'm like sort of close to you. We have a bit of a rivalry going if you play or if you watch hockey. Anyway, Rascal's gonna get the frag on Willmeister. And Shake's gonna trade it back on Fogo. iNTACT looking for the victory right here, right now. Swan going to get Denya 4v3. But now Swan goes down. Bossy keeping hopes alive here for clarity. 3v3. And Minnesota does count, Bryant, because you guys love hockey so much. So you're technically Canadian. You're right next to the border, too. Shake inside of long bathrooms. Here's Bossy coming up, but doesn't get him. Bossy again standing on his head in the round, trying to keep his team in it, and does Zach, finding Spongy, leaving only Turismo standing. Will Turismo spoil the day for clarity and push iNTACT to a 16th round victory? Will clarity secure another one and keep things going here? Zach playing on top of the truck. There's Turismo getting one. 1v2 now. Rascal, pretty lit. 55 HP. Bossy jumps around, gets into long A, and is safe for the time being. Look at that molly thrown by Turismo. He gets Bossy as well. 1v1. Turismo doing the work here. Looking for the 3K and the bomb defusal. Waiting for Rascal to peek out. Turismo spots him out, and Turismo in the 1v3 seals the deal. End of the match and the series 16-7 in favor of